YouTube personality inabber, who has over 933,000 subscribers, stated in a video he published titled "TikTok's Worst Psychic Ruined the Life of an Innocent Woman," diagnosed Ashley Gouliard's mental health state as quote-unquote nutty.
Brothers, sisters, and sisters, it seems I'm being sued. Okay, well, I'm not actually, but recently it's come to my attention that I'm currently involved in a multi-million-dollar defamation lawsuit in the United States of America. Now you're probably wondering, Fraser, how have you got yourself into this situation? How has this possibly happened? What have you done to get yourself involved in whatever this is? Well, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you've just got to be a little bit naughty. And by that I mean, basically a few weeks ago I uploaded this video about a TikToker, and honestly, at the time of uploading this, I thought absolutely nothing about it. You know, I liked the video and all, I thought it was a nice spicy piece of content, but it didn't exactly bang, it didn't really get many views. I'm looking at you right now, why didn't it get many views? But alas, it didn't do exactly amazing in comparison to most of my videos. It was just a standard upload, and I moved on with my life until, well, what you just saw.
Should I just send this lawsuit to inabber?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. It seems that things have just gotten, well, a little bit nutty. So yes, this is Ashley Solved Mysteries, the TikToker that I just mentioned before in the video that I just made, and yeah, as you can see, she has built herself a very nice and big platform, where on this platform what she does is very normal content where she investigates murders and actually seemingly convicts people of murder by using the very reliable method of reading tarot cards.
Something is about to happen to Takeoff's killers. The police are on the way. So one of the killers is going to take a vacation, get away, reevaluate priorities, slightly celebrate.
No disrespect to tarot card users, but why does it feel like she's about to whack out the 5 pieces of Exodia? I feel like I'm watching Jade and Yugi go at it right now. Like, the way she just pulls that out, I'm expected to see some Egyptian god cards come out, but no, apparently this is to do with solving a murder case. But yes, my friends, I am being involved in a lawsuit with this person, because in my original video, I basically went over the fact that Ashley had falsely accused a university professor, Rebecca Schofield, in the murder case in Idaho of murdering these victims, and she even went on to say that one of the victims' boyfriends was an accomplice of Rebecca Schofield, and as you can tell, it was one of the more, well, how do I say it other than saying insane cases that I've ever covered on this channel. But ladies and gentlemen, what makes it even more insane is the fact that the actual murderer has seemingly been found in this situation. Yet she just keeps on doubling down. She won't stop with what is going on here, and I am genuinely just baffled by this individual and how they just, I know they can see what they've done is wrong. It's very obvious to me that they know what they've done wrong is wrong, and we'll get into the specifics to why, but it's just baffling to me that this person simply won't back down, even in the prospect of being sued millions of dollars. So what I want to do in this video is just go over this entire situation and pretty much just show you that this woman is the most insane psychic TikToker, woman, person, whatever you want to call her, most insane individual on TikTok. And I know that said quite a lot about a lot of TikTokers, but in this case, I think we've actually, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've got the one. This is the one. And if I ever call somebody else the most insane TikToker, I'm lying to you. This person is bloomin' nutty. But my friends, the reason I want to prove that this person is as nutty as I say they are is mainly to do with the fact that I want to prove that this lawsuit that I'm apparently involved in is just so utterly and embarrassingly ridiculous for a multitude of reasons. And you may be wondering at this point of time, well, what actually is this lawsuit about? Because I feel like the general assumption would be Ashley is being sued by the person she falsely accused of murder, and yes, it's kind of like that, but just like all insane things in this situation, it does get a little bit more insane, because yes, Rebecca Schofield is indeed suing this TikToker Ashley for defamation, but it seems that Ashley actually never responded in court, which meant that the case went to a default judgment due to a lack of defense. But then it just gets amazing, because Ashley, rather than coming out and being like, oh, I didn't mean to not respond, no, she went a step further and issued a counterclaim where she is in fact now countersuing the person that she falsely accused of murder. But it gets even better when you realise that she hasn't actually seemingly hired a lawyer to represent herself in court. No. Ashley is indeed representing herself in court in a multi-million-dollar defamation when I say this person is the most nutty, insane psych, I feel like I have been absolutely and utterly beyond vindicated. So firstly, what I want to do is go through my angle of this lawsuit and what I'm actually doing in this lawsuit, but also I just want to go over the just sheer ridiculous nature of this, but also because of that, what I want this video to be is me kind of like proving my point without actually having to go into a court of law. I want this video to prove that my, I guess, description of this woman being absolutely nutty is pretty much absolutely true. I want to prove in this video that this person, Ashley Solves Mysteries, is indeed, in my opinion, a bit of a nutty geezer. And to do that, what we need to do is, yes, go through this lawsuit, but I also want to go through the fact that this person isn't just involved in solving one murder. No. There are multiple different cases of where Ashley has seemingly spread misinformation, false accusations, and all that sort of stuff, and we will go through all of that. And this is, I have to say, for legal reasons at this point, an opinion piece solely based on what I think is, to be my opinion. But yeah, I also want to say before we go any further, because ladies and gentlemen, if I do need to get into a legal battle, your subscription would be absolutely wonderful. So please, if you could do something for me, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would absolutely appreciate it more than you know. Please do that. You really don't know how much it helps. And I do also want to get to 1 million subscribers, so you could be, benefiting my ego, but also helping me on the legal aspect of things if it truly comes to that. And look, if I am going to get sued, please could somebody just send me tarot cards my way, because I feel like at this point I'm going to need them. Man, are you really a YouTuber if you haven't been sued for defamation? I feel like it's just like the textbook of being a YouTuber. If you've not been sued at least 3 times, or attempted to have been sued at least 3 times of defamation, ladies and gentlemen, you are not a commentary YouTuber. And to be fair, that's probably the biggest flex you can all possibly have. United States District Court for the District of Idaho. Rebecca Schofield plaintiff versus Ashley Gillard defendant. Now this case, for obvious reasons, is absolutely wild. Not only have you got an individual who's using TikTok to falsely accuse people of murder by using tarot cards, but you also just have everything that's gone on here in this lawsuit. And yes, as I said, it started off with Ashley being absolutely buried legally and she did not respond, meaning that it went to a default. But as I said, she has now responded with a counterclaim, and we're just going to go directly into that because that's where I'm more involved, and honestly, it's just a bit more of the juicy stuff. So in this counterclaim, you can really see the sheer level of utter horrific defense that Ashley is giving herself when she says the statements about Rebecca Schofield were made in the best interest of public safety. Ashley Gillard made statements without actual malice. Therefore, qualified privilege permits Ashley Gillard to make the statements that in a different circumstance would typically be considered defamatory. Privilege? What privilege is TikTok privilege? Does that mean I can start going around saying Mr. Beast is brainwashing children? I mean, he is, but I have to say, he is allegedly brainwashing children. Just because you've got a TikTok profile doesn't mean you can go around falsely accusing people of insane stuff. And as you can pretty much see here, she seemingly admits to what she said as being defamatory. And ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much the case done. It's over. When you admit to being defamatory, but you said, oh, but I posted it on TikTok without being mad, it doesn't matter. When they were writing the Constitution, TikTok wasn't a thing. There wasn't like, oh, by the way, boys, with that freedom of speech thing, we should make sure that we write in a few lines for TikTokers. George Washington wasn't doing nothing gritty. He wasn't doing that. And I'm sorry, but this is just a very ridiculous defense. And look, if we find evidence that Alexander Hamilton was, doing the nay-nay, maybe we can get something out of this. But until that prospect and idea, I don't think we can take this as a legitimate defense. But yeah, with this absolute mess, we start to move into the territories of where I am slowly being introduced into this big old lawsuit. The false statements about AshIsGod was spread by the way of news media and social media to include ABC Universal News, New York Post, and yeah, all of like every single news company in the world pretty much. I mean, you could have just said a lot of news channels covered this, and also, as you can see, multiple YouTube channels. My brothers, sisters, and sisters, we are indeed cooking in this scenario. What is going on? So apparently all forms of media mentioned here, including the YouTube channels, have pretty much incited an online riot against Ashley, according to this counterclaim, and actually have caused over 20,000 negative comments. Oh, look, it seems to be the consequences of my own actions. Ashley, firstly, I would love to know, have you just been sat there for the last 3 months counting every single comment? Look, Dave, we've got 20, Dave the lawyer, we've got 20,000 comments. Oh, wait, no, not Dave the lawyer, because you don't have a lawyer, because you're representing yourself. This is just insane, isn't it? And I don't even think I need to go further into a TikTok, but we will do that. But from this alone, I'm just sheerly amazed at how influencers every single day just manage to absolutely amaze me. Influencers are truly beautiful specimens, and I love it. I truly do. And as you can see in this counter defense, it seemingly apparently led to cyberbullying, death threats, and harassment. And you know, what I think is quite ironic about this is Ashley is complaining about how harassment campaigns on the internet. And actually, I have to say, is it not a harassment campaign to make TikToks with millions of views where you directly say somebody is a murderer when they are absolutely not? Is it not a harassment campaign to go around falsely accusing people of multiple things, people that you've never met in your entire life, and you have based that sole judgment on tarot cards? Is that not a harassment campaign? And I don't endorse harassment. I think it's something you shouldn't do. Please do not go over to Ashley's TikTok account. But please, Ashley, I think you're being a little bit, and I know you don't like the word, but a little bit nutty.
YouTube personality inabber, who has over 933,000 subscribers, stated in a video he published titled "TikTok's Worst Psychic Ruined the Life of an Innocent Woman, the Idaho Murders," diagnosed Ashley Gouliard's mental health state as quote unquote nutty, and falsely accused her of ruining an innocent woman, assumingly Rebecca Schofield's, life, and suggesting Ashley Gouliard lose her freedom of speech.
So firstly, they're claiming about defamation here, but they clearly stated that I've got 933,000 subscribers. You know what? I think I'm going to counter-sue you, because I don't have 933,000. I've got 946,000, maybe 47,000 by the time this video's out, baby. I'm sky high. I'm not. If you could subscribe, that would mean a lot. But get it right. Get the facts right, or I am going to counter-sue you. It goes on to mention that I apparently suggested Gouliard loses her freedom of speech, and honestly, I don't believe that I did that. All I merely did in my previous video was simply suggest that TikTok should do something about the fact that one of their users with quite a lot of followers is using those followers to spread false rhetoric that somebody who isn't a murderer is actually a murderer. Why do I keep doing this with my hand? I don't know, but let's listen to old inabs for a second. I think TikTok genuinely need to do something about this. I'm not usually one for deplatforming people, but when it comes to people who are genuinely dangerous, I think TikTok need to take action. Because this person isn't just putting out, fun little mystery things without attaching names to it. No, if she was doing that, maybe I could somewhat go with it. But instead, she's attaching real people's names and ruining the lives of people. TikTok, you need to do something about this. It's getting genuinely worrying at this point. I mean, I'm not wrong, and I'm absolutely not retracting my statement, and if you want to sue me, well, thank you very much for my millions of dollars, because I will legally bury anybody that says that is, no, I can't threaten lawsuits like that. I'm just going to say, please, let's not do legal stuff here. I am happy just to get my dub by saying you're a silly Billy, and my statement is perfectly valid, and I do not retract it. Look at the millions of views this TikToker has had. As I said, she has gotten these millions of views by saying that somebody who didn't commit a murder is actually a committer of murder. She did that. She used her profile to do that, and I think that is absolutely a dangerous thing to do. Mainly because what if somebody wants to take the law into their own hands? They could think that somebody is a murderer and the law hasn't brought justice, and they've got to do something about that, because there are nutjobs out there that will think that way, especially in a country like America. I think that's a very dangerous rhetoric to get yourself into. I don't think that this is a thing which should be allowed, and I stand by the fact that TikTok should be not allowing people to spread false information, fake news, like Ashley is doing on her profile. And also, this isn't me suggesting that you need your freedom of speech removed. TikTok is a private platform. They are entitled to have who they want on their platform. If you get banned from TikTok, you can still go outside and spew your that though is not being shoved down the throats of everybody via an algorithm. You can say it out loud, and if some people think it's worthy to listen to, people will listen. Because before TikTok, you had to go outside and you had to say things if they were true or not. And if you were being true and if people did care about what you were saying, they would follow you. That's how the world used to work. TikTok is an outright freedom of speech. If you are using that platform to spread false allegations and lies, then you should face consequences for your actions.
I haven't been served yet, but I'm actually gleaming with excitement. I am going to immediately start planning because I cannot wait to present my ideas in court regarding Rebecca Schofield and her role in the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students. How she planned it, how it was her initial idea, how she hijacked the court, how she enticed him and energized him and got him ready to kill his own best friend. Since they have the inability to understand it, I'm glad it can be me.
It's genuinely insane. It's actually insane that I not only have I been dragged into this lawsuit somehow, but I've also been attacked for claiming that I wanted to remove their freedom of speech. I mean, maybe we do need that. I'm joking. Don't put that in your little lawsuit. But maybe we do need to get this person banned from TikTok, because what they are suggesting here is nutty. And that's an understatement. It's not just nutty, but it's a KP dry roasted Christmas sharing box level nutty. It is beyond nutty. It's a nutty factory. It's a nutty braganza. And I don't even know what the that means. But I can understand why this counterclaim is an absolute mess, because as I mentioned, she is representing herself.
That's the response to the default, is to countersue and is representing herself.
As you can tell, this case is an absolute mess, and not only do I think this is a guaranteed slap banging win for Rebecca Schofield, mainly because, this person seemingly did actually admit to defamation, but I guess they thought that they could get away with that because of certain TikTok privileges, but also, this is just a wild scenario, as this is where millions of dollars are clearly on the line, and it's just wild to me that this person can't simply issue an apology. I would like to believe that there could be some positive thing coming out of this, but Ashley is just, no, she just can't handle being wrong, and she is just willing to make herself look even worse and probably have to pay up even more than she would have had to if she just simply retracted her statements. What we have here is yet again another egotistical influencer who just simply cannot handle when they are in the wrong. This happens so much, but in this case, there are actual consequences of where it's not an influencer going up against another influencer, it's an influencer going up against somebody who is clearly highly educated and will not take slander. And Ashley, you have clearly dug yourself a hole here, and it's quite embarrassing what you are doing. And my brothers, sisters, and sisters, I'm not a betting man, but honestly, I don't think I need the tarot cards to tell me how this case is going to go.
And y'all need to stop asking me about this lawsuit. It should not even have been allowed. So I will file this motion to dismiss or whatever it is that I need to file, but I shouldn't have to do it. It should have automatically been rejected for improper venue. It's not fair, and it's not cool.
So yeah, that was the lawsuit. Boy, oh boy, I am my nappy right now. I don't wear a nappy. I'm not Onision's dad. But yeah, this was the lawsuit, and it's just an absolute mess. Other YouTubers were apparently involved in this, in the mentioning throughout the entire case, and just in general, this is probably one of the most delusional pieces of legal battles, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if we can call this a battle. It's just sheer delusion. The outright denials of absolutely everything in this is genuinely quite amazing, But it doesn't end there. No. As I mentioned earlier, we need to now get into her TikTok. I know we've looked into the Rebecca Schofield thing, but there are far more cases that Ashley has investigated. My friends, we are now going to go on a deep dive into all of the other cases that Ashley has whipped out her Yu-Gi-Oh cards for. And also, if you do like tarot cards, that's perfectly fine, but just look at how she's holding them here. My friend is about to bust out Exodia, and I'm actually kind of terrified. So ladies and gentlemen, to start this part of our own personal investigation, we need to go and look at the case of Josh Guimond. Now, Josh Guimond is pretty much a mysterious case from 20 years ago where this man called Josh disappeared and to this day has never been found. And honestly, it is just a very, very mysterious case which a lot of people have looked into, and to this day, I believe it remains unsolved. And you can probably tell where we're going with this because yes, our favorite TikToker Ashley decided to be one of these people that investigates this situation. But rather than, giving a little theory, maybe some hypothetical thing that may or may not have happened, no. This is Ashley solves mysteries, ladies and gentlemen, not Ashley possibly hypothesizes over mysteries. Ashley came out and pretty much, exposed this entire situation where she pretty much deemed Nick, the roommate of this person, to be the murderer.
Solving the mystery of the death of Josh Guimond. So Nick's motive was he did not want to be put out of school because he was caught doing something immoral, like hooking up with straight men.
Oh, I didn't realize the culprit was James Charles.
Pretending to be a woman, using Josh's computer and Yahoo personals to do immoral acts. He felt like this could be the end of his world, that his dad would find out that he was gay. His dad was a person who was against that lifestyle, and he didn't want no smoke with his dad. So he felt like his world was ending. When Josh was fed up because he repeatedly did this. This wasn't the first incident. He repeatedly could not control himself, create profiles to date straight men. So he felt like his world was ending. He wanted to finish school. He was a senior, so that's why he killed Josh. But Josh was just leaving. He was gonna move out. But Nick was insecure about being gay and paranoid.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, the reason that she thinks that Josh was murdered was of course because of the gays. Now, this TikTok series has accumulated thousands upon thousands of views, and yes, it's insane that that's even a thing, but it's also insane that yes, she has once again falsely accused somebody of a crime. But what makes this even more insane is that after this investigation, Ashley said that she actually contacted the investigators in the actual crime case and passed over this information.
Yeah, so I just had to redo Solve the Mysterious Death on Josh Guimond because I'm like, hold on, something ain't adding up. I'm going down the wrong path. And let me tell you, what I just uncovered, I'm definitely going to email the detective after I post these videos.
Ashley, for the love of God, please don't actually do this. And I'm not just saying that for obvious reasons such as wasting police time, but I'm also saying it just to avoid you the sheer embarrassment of having to say, hey officer, I've contacted, I guess the gods, and they've told me what the solution or evidence is to point towards a certain direction in this case. It's balmy, and I am simply giving you advice to save you not only a lawsuit, but the embarrassment of what you are getting yourself into. But yeah, jokes aside, obviously wasting the time of individuals whose job it is to uncover the murder case is obviously a problem for a multitude of reasons. Not only are you just going to distract away from the actual case by providing information which has no grounds whatsoever other than Exodia told you so, but also it just makes an absolute mockery of this situation. You've got to think, this isn't a joke, this isn't a story, there are real victims involved here. It's not like she's speaking about some random fan fiction. No, somebody has actually lost their life. There are families and friends that have grieved over this person, yet Ashley has took it upon herself to use the names of those victims and profiteer off of that. But ladies and gentlemen, despite how insane I can dub this story as, and despite how easy it is to simply just dismantle everything that this woman has ever posted on her social media accounts, it's a completely different story when you go over to the comment section and you've got wonderful comments such as this, saying, "Are your readings 100% accurate?" Yeah, I don't know, Amber. Amber, I simply don't know if these readings are 100%, and maybe they're 99%, but 100%, I don't know. Maybe you're pushing the boundaries a little bit too far there, Amber. And then you've got other comments such as this, and yeah, there are a lot of hate-related comments, but there are also comments of just people praising, sending love, and I'm like, guys, what is there to enjoy about this? Do you just enjoy profiteering off murdered individuals and going around spreading false accusations, not only, ruining the lives of other people out there, but also ruining the lives, or at least upsetting actual victims' family members? Do you get off to this stuff? Like, why are you all loving and enjoying this? TikTok is genuinely a sick, weird, messed up place, and I think the true crime genre in general, at this point of time, ladies and gentlemen, I think we just need to kind of shut this thing down and say, it's gone too far, boys. The science experiment's got to end now. Let's just say, au revoir, goodbye, peace out. But sadly enough, as you can probably guess, it doesn't end there. Because of course it can't. Of course we can't just say, rightio, that's the end of the video, see you later. No. Ashley, just like the Rebecca Schofield case, of course, has had to falsely accuse, yet again, another individual of murder. But in this case, it's actually involving somebody who you may or may not know. In November 2022, American rapper Takeoff was tragically murdered. And since then, Patrick Xavier Clark has actually been charged for this murder. It seems like a closed case, it seems like that's that, and it seems that the family at least can get some form of justice in this scenario. But my brothers, sisters and thisters, that is not good enough for our buddy Ashley. No. Ashley had to come out with her own own conviction. Ashley came out and took rapper Offset and basically said that Offset is pretty much the murderer.
Offset ordered the hit that killed Takeoff and then went to his funeral because it's all a part of the strategy.
Or, I've got a groundbreaking hypothesis here, and no, I haven't had to whip out the tarot cards for this one, shockingly enough. I know that may be a little bit of a groundbreaking discovery to you, but shockingly enough, I have come to the conclusion that maybe he went to the funeral because his friend had been murdered, and he wanted to grieve his friend like everybody else at the funeral. And yeah, as you just heard, because of the criminal charge made against the actual murderer in this situation, she has now had to pretty much completely change her story, or at least just alter it slightly. And that's pretty much a regular thing that you'll notice throughout this entire video, and something you've probably noticed during the lawsuit, and just in general everything. This person just simply cannot apologize, cannot just back down and say, you know what, maybe Exodia was wrong on this one. No. She has to double down in every single scenario. When I say this person is the most nutty person on TikTok, I absolutely mean that she is a KP sharing box salted nuts level of nutty. But sadly enough, this one goes even deeper than all of the other situations we've gone through so far, because she actually made over 17 TikToks about this murder case, and it's accumulated to hundreds of thousands of views off the death of an innocent. It's just disgusting. Just looking at this, man, I am absolutely appalled. We can go back to the whole freedom of speech thing of where I never tried to take my freedom of speech away. I just don't think that TikTok should honestly be promoting this and allowing this. But even after that, it doesn't end there, because somehow she brought in Cardi B into this situation.
So before Offset went to the bank of Cardi B asking for more money for quote-unquote security, he had already planned the murder with J. Prince Jr., his partner. He was very open with J. Prince Jr. It looks like he could be himself with him. They may be good partners. But he has to pay him for him to do it. Although they had already went over details on how it was going to be executed, they had to put it on pause because Offset didn't have the money for it. So the first plan to kill one of the Migos ended up being canceled due to financial difficulties. Offset couldn't afford it. and Cardi wasn't paying for it. When Cardi told him no, she gave him advice. She was just trying to lead him down the right path and trying to help him understand that she needed to pay for, provide for the family. But it seems that she was a little scared of him.
You know, I genuinely sometimes watch something and think, how do I even contribute to this? How do I even put my opinion into this without just not wanting to, remove my ears, pretty much? I just cannot believe that this is a thing, but also I cannot believe that when you listen to this person, she seemingly believes everything that she says. I think that's what makes this even more nutty, because this person seemingly actually believes everything that she says, and that honestly kind of worries me. But yet again, the favourite part that I have in this situation are, of course, the comments. How do you know about all of this? Well, isn't it obvious? Exodia told her. Exodia told her everything. I'm sorry. I need to stop with this. I'm probably upsetting a lot of people. Please, I am sorry. Miss, if you knew so much, why didn't you warn him? His family needs to hold you responsible for not saving his life. I think if there was a beautiful outcome to this scenario, it would be Ashley facing legal repercussions, but not for falsely accusing people of murder, but for actually withholding evidence and withholding information which could have prevented these people from dying. I would love it if the police actually believed Ashley, and because of that, they were like, well, why didn't you do anything? And honestly, I think that would be beautiful. But I think what makes this even more sad is that you're going to have people that probably will copy what Ashley is doing on her TikTok. They'll probably see that, wow, this is doing really well, I'm gonna go and do this myself. On my podcast, I basically went through a very strange subgenre of true crime where I found multiple channels out there where they seemingly reached out to the dead. And by reached out, what I mean is they recorded themselves doing a funny voice and they said it was people such as Betty White or Michael Jackson, and that is a genre which has become profitable and a lot of people are doing. And with Ashley, I think a lot of people will probably follow suit with something like this, and that's genuinely just sad to me, because obviously so many people have had their family members' names dragged through the mud. It's embarrassing, it's just sick and so utterly wrong, and honestly it's just sad that anybody would believe this. But yeah, every single time I watch one of these TikToks, I genuinely feel like my brain is going to explode. But ladies and gentlemen, what truly does actually shock me with this whole saga is, again, the responses that Ashley makes in every single situation, because whenever there's an update, a change, something has been altered in one of the cases that she has covered, rather than, I don't know, saying, oh, I may have been wrong, I have said the wrong thing, I have done the wrong thing, rather than doing that, as I have said throughout this, she not only doubles down, but in some cases she even complains about the legality system and how it's actually, I guess, seemingly harmful.
Using my ability and spiritual gift and mental agility to solve mysterious deaths and tap into information that is unknown otherwise is a part of my passion, but I need to learn how to separate myself from these cases, because it can get very emotional. Even though I don't know these people, I still have some emotional attachment. I'm human, let's just say that, but I have some emotional attachment. Like, I want the killers to be put in prison or to be punished for what they've done. And when things are slow or not being done as fast as I would like it to be, I know we're dealing with the justice system, it could be so hurtful.
Now, Ashley, if you think that's hurtful, wait until you hear about these TikTokers that I've recently discovered. There's this weird brand of TikTokers of what they do is they take a murder case, usually a murder case that's actually been solved, and what they do is they take a random innocent individual and falsely accuse that person of murder, not only dragging a victim's name through the mud, but also making it much more painful for the families of the victims, but also just ruining the lives of actual innocent individuals. Just imagine how hurtful that would be, because the people that do that, Ashley, they're just not really good people, are they, Ashley? And yeah, I don't know why I'm saying this, but maybe it's something to think about. Maybe you should make TikToks about those people. Maybe. But yeah, as you can see, her responses are absolutely awful. Not only just complaining about the legality system, but just doubling down. But even when she gets called out on things, she just seemingly moves on to another case, from Takeoff to Josh to Rebecca Schofield. It's actually impressive how this woman manages to slander so many people in such a short space of time. Honestly, mate, maybe you should be the YouTuber. But my friends, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, and sisters, I have to break the news to you that it doesn't end there. Of course it doesn't end there. If we really could, we would go on for a very long time, because there are so many cases here, but there is one specific case that I want to go through. And this case doesn't, have any difference to any of the other cases. It's just, as I just said, I could be here for a million years, because Ashley has covered so many people in the past. So we're just going to randomly go on to one of them, and that is the case of Shanquella Robinson. Now, this is somebody who tragically died on November the 10th, 2022, and it was shown in the autopsy that she suffered a severe spinal cord injury and a broken neck 15 minutes before her death. And yes, as you can probably imagine at this point of time, Ashley, of course, takes it upon herself to just say absolute and complete, yet again, utter stinking nonsense.
Although Shanquella Robinson was badly beaten, her death was caused by a prescription.
No, it wasn't. It literally wasn't. The autopsy is right here. The information is available on the internet. You do one little Google search and it's right there. As you can see, she suffered from a severe spinal cord injury and broken neck 15 minutes before her death. Seriously, Ashley, look at this and stop. Oh my God, please just stop. But of course, she's not gonna do that. She's obviously not gonna stop, because that would mean she wouldn't get views. No. What she is going to do is press on and make the case seem much more suspicious than actual investigators found it to be.
Someone gave her something because she was looking miserable, it says. He said he was happy to help. She was going through an extreme amount of pain. And it says maybe not as much as wanted, but hopefully enough. I feel like he didn't know how much dosage to give her. He usually uses it for himself or keeps it to himself, but it was like the energy is like, here, take this. And then it's like, don't be scared, take this. She was apprehensive about taking what he was giving her. But, I mean, the fight is what led to her needing it in the first place, because Dejanay just wanted to fight her for no reason and beat her for no good reason. That caused her pain, and then the pain is what led Dude to give her the prescription medicine. And it looks like he could have given her maybe 3 to 5 pills. It was just too much.
It's genuinely absolutely wild to me that this person's bank account doesn't read minus 100 million. I'm genuinely shocked that this person isn't in absolute massive amounts of debt because of multiple defamation lawsuits. I'm really shocked that Rebecca Schofield is one of the first people to be like, hey, can you not do that? Please just stop. How has there only been one case here? This is genuinely disgusting. And as you probably guessed, it doesn't end there. As I said earlier, what she said in that TikTok is of course absolutely tons of misinformation. It's wrong, and it is profiteering of an actual victim and the grieving and suffering of real families. But those cases extend to the cases of Tiffany Valiant, Tamla Horsford, Raven Jackson, so many. This entire page of Ashley Solves Mysteries, it's just Ashley completely and utterly slanders basically every single human being under the sun. So going back to my original statement from my first video on this scenario, I do think that TikTok do need to do something about this profile, because profiteering off death is a very weird thing to do, but profiteering off false murder accusations is 50 times weirder than that. It's beyond weird at this point. I genuinely do not understand how Ashley can just wake up in the morning and say, oh, I'm a good human being. Like, do you not have any shame? It's genuinely utterly embarrassing. But ladies, gentlemen, my brothers, sisters and sisters, of course, as you all knew, it doesn't end there. Because yes, we've gone through all of the cases that I chose to look into. You've probably got a vague understanding into the mind of this person and just the sheer level of delusion and just in general the lack of moral compass that this person has. But now with this, we need to get into yet again another response from Ashley, because Ashley has recently been posting a lot of TikToks about the lawsuit. She has broken her silence, and in these TikToks, it's very clear to me that she's not only panicking, but she's also aware that she is going to lose her case and get into millions upon millions of debt. So without further ado, let's just play one of these TikToks where she is visibly and audibly not very happy.
And y'all need to stop asking me about this lawsuit. It should not even have been allowed. First of all, for multiple reasons. But for the legal reason was because it's the improper venue. Like anybody with a little bit of sense knows, I'm not an Idaho resident, so I should not be sued in the District of Idaho federal courts. Then they got the nerve to not allow pro se clients to e-file. Meanwhile, so her attorneys are e-filing documents. If I want to file a document, I got to fly to Idaho or mail it in and hope they get it. First of all, there needs to be some type of system that automatically declines lawsuits that are frivolous. Why would you sue a Texas resident in Idaho? It makes no sense. And they knew that with their over 20 years of experience practicing law. So I will file this motion to dismiss or whatever it is that it needs to file, but I shouldn't have to do it. It should have automatically been rejected for improper venue. It's not fair and it's not cool.
I feel like this TikTok is a really good reason to why Ashley should have gotten a lawyer, because obviously Ashley is being sued by somebody in Idaho. So naturally the case would have been in an Idaho court, because what it was about was the Idaho murder case. It's not really rocket science. It's really easy to work out. And somebody also in the comment section said that this was actually filed in a federal court, which I guess just means either way, the court case is perfectly valid. But also, Ashley, I'm going to speak to you personally right now. Regardless of legalities and if a legal case is valid or not valid, surely after everything, after you've got, as you described earlier, an online riot coming towards you, surely at this point, you would realize the sheer ridiculous nature of the TikToks that you post onto the internet. Surely after everything, you would realize that this is wrong and surely you should stop. And honestly, I think you would just save yourself a couple of pennies if you did stop. But sadly, I don't think that's going to be the case. In fact, I think that after this case is done and over with, Ashley is probably going to go and just get back to regular posting of the content of where she falsely accuses people of murder. And I have a reason for that. Ashley, 3 weeks ago on her YouTube channel, posted a 39-minute video about the Idaho murder case, about Rebecca Schofield, and I just don't understand what needs to be done legally to stop this woman. Does she need her social medias banned? I don't know. Obviously, she'll claim free speech there, but is this free speech? Is falsely accusing somebody of murder, multiple people of murder, free speech? I guess that's the question that we can end this video with. Because surely social media companies have some level of moral obligation to stamp out fake news, misinformation. Even on her own website, she still has posts and blogs about the Idaho case, and also posts where she describes herself of having exceptional intellectual and spiritual power. Well, mate, Ashley, after everything, I'm really starting to doubt the intellectual capabilities that you may possibly have. Maybe Exodia has gotten a few things wrong, but mate, I've seen your legal defense, I've seen everything, and you don't seem like the smartest cookie in the cookie jar. In conclusion to the situation, I think Ashley is not only going to lose this case, but lose it badly. I think Ashley is probably the most insane psychic I've ever witnessed on social media, not just TikTok, but all of social media. Because the things that she has done, the things that she has posted, the doubling down, the legal cases, it's just all absolutely wild. It's all just absolutely wild for a multitude of reasons, and I think the only way we're going to resolve this is if TikTok start clamping down on misinformation. That platform is a misinformation haven, and maybe it's because it's a fairly new platform, but I don't think that's any level of justification when it pretty much is the biggest platform in terms of social media right now. Ashley, please just look in the mirror and realize what you are doing is wrong, and it is, in my opinion, ruining the lives of certain people. Maybe not famous people, but people like Rebecca Schofield clearly were impacted by your words, and that is why they are suing you. This is the ending of the video. Thank you so much for coming along. I truly hope you enjoy it. If you want to do me a big favor, please, don't do me a big favor. Just like the video, please. Not please. Just do it. This isn't a request anymore. This is a demand. Like the post. What do I say? Well, I'm like 50 years old. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also comment beans. Thank you very much. Let me know your thoughts down below. And also, subscribe to my blooming podcast, the Buddies Podcast right there. It's in the description, and we're uploading episodes every single week, and I would really appreciate it if you came and went and subscribed, because we actually, in the next episode, did cover this situation where we go over it in a bit of a more comedic manner. So please, if you could do so, come subscribe to the podcast, Buddies Podcast, link in the description. But yes, that is the ending of the video. Thanks for coming along, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out, people. Have a lovely day. And please, for the love of God, if you are thinking of running a psychic TikTok where you falsely accuse people of murder, just maybe don't do that. Peace out and have a cracking day. Bye-bye.